What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So here she is. I told you guys I'd bring you a video today, and let me tell you, I have worked my ass off to bring this video to you today. I have been busy all day. So here she is. This is in the daytime. This is with her cleaned up. Tim, my brother, and I have literally worked on this since we brought it home yesterday to really get it cleaned up, to make it look good on the inside and out. We've done a lot of work to the interior, and I think we've almost got it done. She is looking sharp. Oh, look, there's my fiance right there, trying to figure out how to get in the driveway because I've got her blocked. Uh-oh, I'm gonna be in trouble. She hates being on camera, so if we record her, chances are I am going to be in the doghouse for it. There she is. She's just getting off work in that beautiful, sexy Mustang. Oh, with that Roush exhaust, right? Sick. I'm gonna take the camera off of her because she's gonna get mad. Let's talk about what we've done to the van today. Start with the interior. I tried my best to clean up this dashboard, and I'll hit it a couple more times. It was really dry and dehydrated. It made it look like it's covered in dust. I think it looks a whole lot better, but I am gonna have to hit it another time or two with the Meguiar's. This I put back on. I found several of these out at the pull-apart yard. Unfortunately, you can unbolt them all, but they're all very, very brittle, and I don't think they're going to be any better than this. I super glued this back on. I hate half-assing things, but I don't feel like this is really here to grab onto anyway. In the event of a major car accident, this is plastic, all right? It's going to shatter and probably rip your hand apart, so don't grab these in the event of an accident. Here's the interior, at least the front. Now the back is where we really made the magic happen today. We have seats. We do. We have seats. Now, this seat, I've got a lot of cleaning to do. These seats came out of different vans. This one obviously came out of a really nice and clean van. This seat came out of a van. It looks like whoever owned it didn't really care about it. So we definitely got some work to do on this back seat. The seats work like they're supposed to. They flip up, fold down, all of that. You move these out of the way, they move forward and backwards. Yeah, I've got some serious scrubbing to do on this, but I think I can get this seat looking a lot better. And I would have held off on doing a video, but I promised you guys I would bring you an update today. Now, one of the biggest updates is, oh my God, you should feel this front and rear air conditioning. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, the AC in this thing is unbelievably cold. I was really surprised. As common as it is, I should be used to it by now, but what was wrong with the air conditioning was a leaking Schrader valve on the low pressure side. It was leaking pretty good, and it was just seeping past the gasket on the cap. So obviously it lost all of its Freon. Now this is a big AC system because it has front and rear air. It holds, I believe, 4 pounds. Let's take a look at the engine compartment. I've got this piece right here and I need to glue it back in. You would think these vans would be really common at the salvage yard, but they're not. They have I went to 2 salvage yards, LKQ and Pull-Apart, and between the two, they only had maybe 6 of these vans, and almost everything was missing from all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. My brother and I, like I said, we have worked our asses off on this van, getting these parts. It was 100 degrees today. Okay, I'm lying. It was 98 degrees today with a heat index of about 106, and we've just been out in the sun all day working. I detailed this engine, nice and clean. Some people don't like the shiny. I usually don't do it, but this van, I don't know why, I felt compelled to really put the engine shine on it. This valve right here is the one that was leaking very, very badly. So now that that's taken care of, the AC is ice cold. And I believe you can see on here where it shows you with front and rear air, it holds 3 pounds. I don't even know if you can read that, but 3 pounds of Freon is what it took. They come in 12-ounce cans, so I put four cans of Freon in it. I'm telling you, this van drives great. Now, one thing I will say, I've had a lot of Astros and GMC Safaris in the past, and one thing I'll say about them, if you drive something like a Chrysler Town & Country or a Ford Aerostar, the Windstar, whatever the case may be, any of these older model vans, you'll notice this one rides rougher. And that is because this is actually built on a truck frame. This rides on a truck frame. This is a workhorse, it really is. Rides on a truck frame. It's basically a GM V8, okay? Maybe a 5.0, maybe a 5.7, whatever, with 2 of the cylinders lopped off. So it's pretty much got a truck engine. It's got the 4L60E transmission. So truck engine, truck transmission, truck frame. So it rides a little bit rougher than a traditional minivan. One thing I do love about these though is I have replaced transmissions in these before. And you remove the doghouse, this piece right here, this whole piece comes off, and you have access to your engine. And the transmission in these, in the rear wheel drive models, is so easy to replace. Literally, you can get to your bolts from right here, climb under, remove the bolts from the torque converter to the flywheel, remove the, there's you guys got me slipping today, man. There's a beam right here that has the transmission mount, remove it, transmission literally just comes right out. These are so easy to replace trannies on. If you got to replace the motor, never done a motor, don't think I would ever want to. But here she is. I think it looks pretty damn good. And guys, it is 7:30 in the evening here, right? 7:30. It is still 95 degrees outside. It is hot. And check out the dash. We have, I don't know if you can see it, but we have no more check engine lights. Well, we didn't have a check engine light. You know what I mean? We have no more ABS lights. That stuff went out. AC is ice cold. Everything seems to be functioning properly. I've driven it about 30, 40 miles on the interstate, cruise control, everything works. We got nothing leaking out from underneath it. See if we can climb under here and give you guys a glimpse. Look at that. Nice and dry underneath. We got damn good tread on the tires here. All the tires match. We got a little bit of damage right here. Not bad. Just a little bit. Full disclosure, I love showing you guys everything, the good, bad, and the ugly, right? There was bubble gum stuck over here, and I hit it too hard with my pressure washer, and it actually took the paint off. Oops, that was my bad. Other than that, man, there she is. And I think I forgot to tell you guys how many miles she had on her yesterday. So let's do that real quick. Hopefully you can see it. 178,021 miles. I've put 43.6 miles on it myself. She averages 19.2 miles a gallon. And the last thing to fix is this window. A lot of you recommended I check the switch. Well, the switch is, I'll actually show it to you real quick. I can pop this out. Well, I don't need to. You can see the switch here was manufactured 7 of 16. So this switch has already been replaced. I don't think it's the switch. I've checked by playing with the wires down here, moving them around. Sometimes they'll short, they'll bend and short, and then you can get it to work, but I've had no luck at all. I think the motor died. And it's an easy motor to replace. The motor is about $30, $40 at AutoZone. That is the last thing on my list to do. This thing has been sitting here idling the whole time. Temperature is normal, oil pressure is great, battery's good, it starts right up every time, AC is ice cold. You know, what more do you want from a van that was $1,275 out the door, fees and all, right? This will make somebody an excellent workhorse. We replaced the transmission dipstick. I put a new radiator cap on it. As it turned out, the old one was no good at all. So it was losing coolant out of the radiator cap, not from a loss of compression. Okay, I want to make that clear. No head gasket issue. It was legitimately a bad radiator cap. It was the original with 177,000 miles on it. This van is originally from Hawaii. It was a rental van for about a year, and then the second owner owned it for over 15 years. It's been serviced regularly. I have the Carfax on it. The Carfax shows that this is a clean title vehicle, although the title was salvaged from hail damage. And if you look carefully, you might be able to see there's one right here, right there. There's some more on the back. You've got, I mean, because it's white, yeah, it's almost impossible to even see the hail damage, but it is there. I can't see it. There's one right there. It's almost impossible to see because the damn thing is white. So that's good. That's good. But it does show, the title shows salvaged from hail. Carfax shows completely clean. I don't know what else to tell you about it. I call it a win. I don't know what I'm going to sell it for. I don't know what I'm going to get out of it. It is the LS model. It doesn't have power seats or anything. We got a little bit more cleaning to do. Get this window fixed. And I fully intend to have this ready to sell, I think Saturday. I think Friday or Saturday, we will put this up for sale for $2,500, maybe $2,800. And we'll call it a day. Quick update on my garage, and then one more update that I want you guys to know about. My brother helped me get my garage done. We have room to put a car in here. We got our jacks, got the pressure washer. It's a little dark in here. Got my camera set up over here that I pulled out of the Prius, the black view. Got my T-Mobile sync up and drive from the Prius. Got my lift amp from the Prius. Got my license plate from the Prius. Had a lot of you asking questions about the Prius. Why did I sell the Prius? Some of you are kind of upset with me, so I just want to show you how I've got my garage set up real quick. Got all my electronic stuff, booster packs, battery chargers, battery reconditioners, stuff for electronics. We've got our big effing hammers and cheaters. We got AC equipment right here, vacuum pump here, most of the fluids and cleaners all over here. Let's talk real quick about why I sold the Prius. All right, so several of you were really upset with me for selling the Prius because you were like, man, you said you were going to use the Prius, you were going to start ride sharing, and you lied. You sold the Prius. Well, look, here's the deal. That Prius was 1 year too old for Uber. I couldn't pull any strings to get Uber to put it back on the platform. So I was SOL. Lyft alone is just not going to cut it out here. Uber dominates the market. Uber and Lyft combined, excellent. Lyft alone, not so much. So I was left trying to figure out what to do. I'm not going to be able to do any real good videos. Sorry, I'm sweating like a freaking pig here. It's, like I said, it's hot as hell out here and humid. Realistically, I can't just do Lyft and say, hey, this is the kind of money you can make, because it's just Lyft. You really need to combine Lyft and Uber. So I decided to sell the Prius. I decided to sell the truck, and I thought for sure I was going to be able to get my hands on a 2012 Prius at Copart. That's the car I left out of the videos. That's the car I did not show you. And to be quite honest with you, I was so pissed off that I didn't win it that I didn't even go back to do the video. And that's shame on me. I should have done that video for you guys. It was a nice Prius. It was a 2012, had 69,000 miles on it. It booked for about 14,000. It had the solar sunroof. It had the touchscreen navigation, leather. It had the sunroof, then it had the solar roof. The thing was absolutely loaded, and it was a great car. And I looked up the book value. Book value is about 13,000 or so, 14,000. In general, when you've got a salvage car, you cut 50% off of the retail, the basic retail price or resale price of the car, and that's what it should be worth after repairs. So for that Prius, I figured, okay, if it's worth 14,000, then we cut that in half, and it's worth 7,000 repaired. I'm going to win easy if I bid it up to 45,000. I didn't. That car went for like $6,800 plus fees. $6,800 plus fees. It needed a headlight. It needed a fender. The fender was going to cost me $300 painted and shipped. The headlight was going to cost me $80. It needed a hubcap. There was probably some other little maintenance items that it was going to need. I bid it up to almost $5,000. I had it, I believe, at 48 was my high bid. Or maybe 43, I can't remember. I'll put a screenshot up, but 43 to 4,800, and it ended up going for 68, and it blew me away. The flooded one, if you guys remember that, flooded and wrecked with black mold white Prius that was like a 2010 or 2014, whatever, mileage unknown because half the car was underwater. That car sold for like $2,200, non-running, flooded, and wrecked and salvaged. I can't explain why some of the prices at Copart are so ridiculous, but that's my experience so far. A lot of the prices on some of these vehicles are just, they go ridiculously high. You'll never make a profit on that Prius. There's just no way. There's no way. On the Prius that I wanted, you'll never make a profit on that car. Not ever. So I decided, you know, I'm pissed off about it, whatever. I found some Priuses, or Prii, I don't know how you say it, multiple Toyota Prius locally from dealers. You know, 2010 to like 2014, relatively low miles, 120, 130,000 miles, similar options, you know, the leather, touchscreen, navigation, all that crap, for, you know, $6,500 to $7,000. And that's clean title. That's legit, clean title, ready to go Prius. So I've got a meeting with a company that I'm working with and hopefully going to do some promotional work with called Enjoy. They're a white glove service for like smartphones and DJI, things like that. Basically deliver stuff like that, and they're paying like $15.75 an hour plus benefits package, health, dental, vision, and 401k, paid time off. I'm working with them locally. I got a meeting with them in the morning, and some local Uber drivers that I'm going to bring up there, and hopefully we can get some people onboarded and get some people making some decent money with benefits out here since the rates are so damn low. More about that later. But I've got a lot to do tomorrow. I've got Cox coming out to the house because I've got internet glitches tomorrow at 3. But I'm supposed to go meet this dealership tomorrow at probably 2. I'd say around 2 o'clock. I'm going to go try to see if I can finance this Prius. I'm going to do something real simple, like put down about $3,000 as a down payment, and then hopefully I can just pay it out to where I can pay it off in 12 months. I've got a lot going on. Tomorrow's going to be a really busy day for me. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do any videos, but I'm going to try. I'll do my best to bring you guys an update. For now, I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to explain what was going on. I was really disappointed I didn't get that 2012 Prius. I thought I had it in the bag, but apparently it'll be cheaper for me to just go to a dealership and buy one, clean title, than it would be for me to buy a wrecked one with a salvage title from Copart. It is what it is, right? We got the van. I got to get that done. I got a lot going on. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I always appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for taking the time to view my videos and allowing me to do what I love doing, and that's making videos for you guys. If you thought this content was awesome, please don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up. If you thought my content sucked, and there's those of you out there that do, just give it a big thumbs down. Don't forget to comment below. I love reading and responding to your comments. And as I always say, please, I go through those Copart auctions and I see that carnage, and it's a constant reminder to me to always say, please be safe out there. And it's not just something I say. It's not just a sign off. I'm serious. Please stay safe out there, guys and gals. And I will catch you as soon as possible in the next video.